Greetings everyone, this is Karst, and welcome back to Dishonored 2. So, I think I'm actually looking back over to the location where Jessamine was killed. I think that's the same observatory right there. And that's probably the place where they had the dam, right? Where you raised up the boat in order to access that area. I'm pretty sure that's the one. You can zoom in on it, but I don't think you can actually access it, unfortunately. So last episode, there was a bit of a coup. Emily has been ousted from being Empress of the Isles for the time being, and we are about to escape with Miss Megan Foster aboard her boat. Pretty sure I missed a couple of things during my run through of the city, unfortunately, but that's just something I'm going to have to live with. There's apparently a lot of detail and a lot of stuff that can be easily missed in this game, so I'm going to try my best to get everything, but I can't promise that'll get absolutely everything, right? So yeah. I noticed you're missing an arm, lady. And an eye. Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's set out for Karnaga.
Off we go. So overall chaos is low. I killed a hostile. That's not my fault. That was a dude who sliced at me and cut off the dude's head. I was detected a billion times. I'm mostly on assault, non-lethal assault. Fair enough. Not much on the stealth side. We found 1055, 2 of 2 paintings, and special actions are only took the coin that I could find and also locked him in the safe. So, alright, let's proceed. A strange visit. Something feels off. Find out what's going on. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm about to be offered some outsider powers. Now, I do know that there's an option to choose whether or not... Okay, so you can pick between either A, accepting the mark and actually having powers, versus B, refusing the mark and playing the game without. I am going to play with powers, I think. Although I don't know if there's any actual story, like, significant or differences for between the two options, right? Obviously it will change the playstyles a lot, but again, like, I don't know if it'll matter to the story very much. So it is blocked. That's great. And now this is open. Wonderful.
This place? Where am I?
Well, I have a good feeling that we're in the void. Just a hunch.
I can feel something moving closer, watching.
I wonder who it could be.
Empress Emily Caldwin. I am a friend of your father's from the bad old days.
You could say that. You're an ally of some sort.
I never expected us to meet.
No?
I watched your mother die at the hands of schemers who wanted your little empire. Then you were rescued by a man in a strange mask. I thought that was the end of the excitement. But someone yanked the rug from under your feet. You've lost your throne and your father. And I promise, Delilah won't just give them back. So, what are you prepared to do about it? Your Imperial Majesty? And are you clever enough to do it without spilling a river of blood? I asked Corvo those questions 15 years ago. This is the moment that changed him. Now it's your turn.
I don't know. Clearly the outsider, for whatever reason, is somewhat invested in the kingdom, or sorry, the empire, and specifically Emily's bloodline, for whatever reason, right? Like, he stepped in once before to prevent whatever happened in the first game from happening, and now he's stepping in again now that Emily's been ousted. So, like, clearly, for whatever reason, he's invested in some way or manner, even though he's supposed to be, like, relatively, how do I put it? I was gonna say non-partisan, but, you know, like, he's not exactly supposed to be that involved. He's rather detached, but here he is for some reason caring about this. And like I said, I am going to accept the mark.
It burns from the inside. I feel like I'm standing at the edge of something.
Alright, far
Stories.
reach.
They're true.
That they are. So, my understanding is that Emily's powers differ from those of Corvo's. So she has, like, slightly different powers. So, this is essentially her dash. But it's more of like a tentacle whip than anything else. Okay. Okay.
This is how I'm going to save my father and reclaim the throne.
Alright, Corvo. You just wait for me until the end of the game, alright? Nearly screwed myself. That was pretty buff. Yes, I know that this was, the art collector.
What is that? It feels familiar.
It's your mother's heart, Emily. Aren't you glad to see it?
I know you.
Oh, shoot.
Do you remember? It's been so long, and you've been through so much. Even as an echo of myself, it's good to know you're there.
Mother? You're here, but you're not here. In my hand, but somewhere else.
Only the last of my essence, with you for a while. If only I could reach across this great expanse and take you into my arms.
This is still sweet, though. It's nice that they have
But
this.
I have this to offer. My gift and my curse. Summon me to your hand, and I will guide you when I can.
You got it. I'm gonna be running around with the heart all day. Read the full tutorial. Equipping the heart in your left hand helps you locate bone charms or runes. The heart will begin to beat and glow when you're facing a bone charm or rune, and will beat faster as you get closer. The heart will whisper secrets if you press right-click at particular locations or while looking at a person. Yep, that seems about right.
There are no stars in the sky here. There is no sky.
Fair.
You shouldn't be here. No one should. There's a strange power in this place.
I can believe that.
I will never walk in the sun again. I know it now.
I don't think that's really a surprise, considering.
The one who took my life walks the world still.
Oh, okay, so that's
He has withdrawn.
so that's confirming that Dowd is still alive at this point in time.
Such a short time ago, I was a girl, then a young woman, in love, then an empress. Now what am I?
A lovely mystical artifact?
I remember the last day I saw you, out behind the tower.
This is just so interesting. I want to keep pressing things until she starts repeating herself.
Lessons from your father coursing through your head, and lessons from your mother as well.
Fair. Are those bone shards from Emily's mother, or from Jessamine as well, or are those like whale bone shards? I wonder.
My heart is made of muscle and sinew, but metal and glass as well, and other things.
Other things, yeah, fair enough.
In thousands of years, few have seen this place. 3 were empresses.
Oh, shoot. Oh, no more? No more. It's interesting. I don't remember there being an actual squeezing animation. Oh, dear. In the first game. But here we are. So what is this? Ah, yes. The new
Who is
Empress.
Delilah, really? How could she? I don't understand.
Can I... Is that... That's an interesting look. Who are you? Cannot confirm. Cannot confirm. Cannot confirm. I assume these will all be targets at some point. Interesting outfit. Alright. Gimme. Oh, how many did you give me? 2? Or 1? It looks like there were 2 stacked up on one
There's
another.
no one quite like Delilah. I watched her pull herself up from blood and filth until she was in a position to steal from the wisest scholars in the Empire. Survival and ambition, art and magic, with a cunning that makes fawning sycophants of those around her, all of it leading to what you saw at Dunwall Tower. Delilah's playing the long game. She took all the abuse the world could deal out, and now she has a crown. But I'll let you in on a secret.
Okay.
She's got her eyes set on a much greater prize.
You wanna care to elaborate on that a little bit, or what? Meet with Megan Foster and discuss a plan of action before taking the skiff to Karnaca. Sounds like a plan.
When I was 10
Oh.
years old, bored with my lessons, I dreamed about sword fighting and sailing the ocean. Now I'm realizing that the world is stranger than I ever imagined. Everything I know has been turned on its head, but I'm dealing with it the best I can. When you look at the great jeweled map at Dunwall Tower, Karnaca is the southernmost port in the Empire. A fat, red ruby. That's how I always thought of it. Up close, the city smells like the ocean and strange spices. Up close, it's a tangled story of blood and ambition. The birthplace of my father. Megan Foster is a stranger, but there's something that makes me want to trust her, despite her guarded disposition. She got me out of Dunwall, and I need answers. Delilah and the Duke made me look like a murderer, using the Crown Killer to butcher my political adversaries. They took what was mine, and I'm gonna get it back.
Alrighty then. Now we're awake. Do we actually have a journal? Ooh, I can write in it myself. Interesting. Okay, so a long day in Dunwall. New year. We're starting a new year. Maybe 1852 will be less boring than 1851. I can't wait for Wyman to get back to Dunwall. We'll go to the abandoned mansion I discovered the other night at the edge of Rudshore. Maybe I'll have time to turn into a scary haunted house beforehand, using sheets and hiding an old audiograph upstairs. Wyman would love that. We'll get spooked and hold hands, screaming and laughing. Come on, Emily. You promised to be more serious than to listen at court, and you're already planning your next escape. Let's start this diary again. Proposals for a new decree on whale oil rationing and distribution. The anniversary. That time of year again. The anniversary of my mother's death. There's no real time for reflection, though. It's all security protocols, menus, guest lists. And it's impossible to slip out at night. I feel like a caged bird. They've already got me memorizing this year's speech. It's endless. Would it be so terrible if I just said what I remember about her? That wink she gave me even as she was scolding me after I was caught climbing the statue of my grandfather. The sound of her footsteps as she paced at night. The time we shared a cabin on a boat trip to Driscoll. Or the time she agreed to let Corvo teach me to fish but then had to pull a hook from my arm. Now that would be a speech. Fair. Edge of the world, Dishonored. Well done. My father is lost, turned to stone by Delilah. Those words don't even seem real. Witchcraft, something I never would have believed possible, but now I have to believe in it, so I can believe that it can be undone. Delilah claims to be my aunt, the rightful heir. Truth or lies? All I know is that she used magic to take my throne, aided by that weasel Duke Abele? I'm not sure. Abele? They must have been working on this plan for years. Buying disloyalty with promises. Even Ramsay, captain of the City Watch. Planting in everyone's mind the idea that my father and I could be responsible for those monstrous killings. That one or both of us were the Crown Killer. I'm not in a trusting mood, but Megan Foster says she knows Anton Sokolov, our old royal physician, and she helped me escape the coup. So she's all I have right now. We're sailing for Sarkonos. My Dunwall, my home, is no longer safe for me. But I never really was safe. I never really will be. The sooner I get that through my skull, the better. The Void. This time it wasn't just a dream. I've read about the Void and the Outsider, imagined them. Now I've seen these wonders for myself. Strange doesn't begin to cover it. The Outsider has terrible eyes. Black on black. He offered me something. I know these gifts come with a price, but how could I refuse? This power might give me the edge I need to defeat Delilah and Duke Abele. I'll worry about paying the cost later. And what price will I pay for his other gift? My mother's beloved voice, trapped in the strangest contraption. It is both comforting and chilling to be able to talk to her again. And yet, it's not entirely the person I knew anymore. This thing, the heart, it's there and not there. I have to focus in a new way to even see it. So it's not visible to everyone. You're not just like wandering around with the heart. We've arrived at the southernmost tip of the Empire. Strange fragrances all around. Salt, fish, spice. I don't know how to blend in here. I don't know what to eat or where to go, but this is where my father was born. So part of me belongs here too, and these are my people. Or they were, until my throne was stolen by Delilah. I'm coming for you, Delilah, with my new powers. All I need now is a plan. Alrighty then. Let us proceed. I guess we'll just be going... Oh! Thank you for the crossbow. It's not what you're used to, living in a palace, but this is all the coin I could scrape up. Anton and I operated on a tight budget, and guess what? Now you do too. If it's not beneath you, pick up whatever valuables you find along your way. We'll need ammo and resources to take down the people behind the coup. Hidden all over the city, there are underground black market shops. Look for a symbol depicting two hands, which means that there's a shop nearby. Follow the signs and they'll guide you. Buying from the black market is against the law, but it could make a difference against the Duke's military. Sokolov was working on this crossbow as a gift for you. If you need it modified, those shops can help with that as well. Megan. Okay, cool. Is this like the same type of design as the first game, or is it slightly different? I'm not sure. Oh, a letter from Emily. Wyman, by now you must have heard about the coup in Dunwall. Don't worry, I'm safe, hiding far away with friends. I implore you, don't try anything reckless and don't go back to Bristol. Stay in Morley. There's nothing you can do against Delilah. I can't say I have a solid plan yet, but you know how well I improvise in desperate situations. Remember the time I kept a straight face during the watch officer's report, all the while sitting at my desk without pants? What? If I survive that, I'll get through this. For now, I need to stay hidden and act alone. Trust me, we'll see each other again, I promise, Emily. Okay, but you actually have to send that letter, though, don't you? You know, to make sure that they actually receive it. Okay, that's just some interesting lighting. Another message. Maintenance list. Repair the things that got busted up in Anton's room when he was taken. It's been weeks now, so he's been taken somewhere. No, scratch that. Not until I bring him back home. As a show of faith that he will be coming back. Unblock the storage door. Looks like something fell on the other side, and I really need to sell the stuff locked up in there to make some coin. Pay the port tax and the look the other way fees to those Grand Guard bastards, before they wonder who my passenger is this time. I'll do it when I get the money. Alright, fun. Unlock the storage room door. Is that this one? Probably. Now, I could probably enter from the outside. That's a window, right? Alright, I'll bear that in mind. That seems the way out to the main room, as they put it. I've got to figure out all my shortcuts. So 6 is what I want. Okay. I kind of want to check out all the other rooms here. Also, I want to pull out the heart.
Push out into the harsh world.
Ooh, Addermeyer solution. That's new.
For a few allies.
Dreadful Whale accounting. Various numbers and stuff. I'm not going to read this because it's kind of just there for lore, I guess.
Those around you cannot see.
Thank you for the clarification.
Here and not here when you call to me.
That's kind of what I figured. Now, the storage room, I think, is on the left, right? Let me double check this.
I heard a story once of a sailor caught forever in a fog.
Storage room is over here. Okay.
The seas. I am that sailor.
Oh, is that true? So the entrance is on this side, right? Presumably.
There will come a time when we must part.
I believe it.
Tell you this in the hope to make easier our farewells.
Fair enough. I mean, I assume at some point Jessamine has to go, Jessamine has to move on, right? She has to have her soul freed.
You remember me as I was.
That I do.
Sometimes I think of those days. Do you?
I'm sure Emily dwells on it a lot. Wonderful.
When this crisis has passed, you must promise to release me.
I will. It's, my mother, after all.
I'm tired. How long, my dearest? How long must I endure in this shadow state?
Hopefully for not too much longer.
If we should become parted someday, remember that I know exactly who you are. and that I treasure you.
This is sweet. Sad, but sweet. That's it, okay. A Reflection on My Journey to the Pandician Continent 3 by Anton Sokolov, Chapter 15. At dawn, I set out with a group that foraged east and included 2 other natural philosophers and 4 crewmen. We used blades to clear the vegetation that grew thickly here, and slowly made our way away from the shore up a steep incline. Our purpose was to gather samples of the native plants for our research journals. I found myself further pressing these in stems between pages and taking copious notes on several species of flora I surmised no human had ever set eyes on previously, when suddenly young Mr. Gravett from the academy began hopping about and screaming wildly. Chance had bade him pick an unfortunate place to step. Aggressive ant-like creatures swarmed him from below. So many in number were his tiny attackers that we quickly lost sight of him under the onslaught. We finally managed to pull Gravett from the insects, acquiring several painful welts where we had come to his aid. Mr. Gravett, however, was bitten, or stung, as I would eventually discover, so many times he was barely recognizable, swollen unto deformity over every inch of his person. Moaning like a sick bull, he expired before we could carry him back to the beach. Oof. Luckily, some of the creatures still clung to him, providing me with precious samples. Well done, Sokolov. He was always a little bit unethical. Are those sleeping darts? Nope. Incendiary bolts. I was hoping for sleeping darts, truth be told. Okay, well that's that. We've discovered it. We've done it. Anything else? No? There's apparently a rune down there. I suppose I would need to swim for it. Yeah, it looks like I would have to swim for it. Maybe I'll do that after talking to, Megan? Nah, I'm just gonna go straight for it. This seems a terrible plan. Especially with the fish. I know it's here. I'm also about to drown. Thank you. About to drown. Drowning would be bad. Okay. Time to acquire some powers. What do I want? Far reach. Oh. I guess you can choose different customizations. I assume this is either or, right? And you can't get both. Oops. What's the difference here? Okay. So I can slow time down as I aim with far reach, if I'm falling. But that seems really helpful. Or I can pull people or objects towards me and catch them in midair. Includes corpses and unconscious bodies. Pulled resources will be added to your inventory automatically. Objects that can be carried must be grabbed manually. Pull a bottle to you from afar and then throw it as a distraction. Or pull a whale oil tank to you and then throw it as an explosive. I think the far reach precision in changing directions is a little bit more useful in the long run. Pull enemies I don't care for. Are there any other abilities? Dark vision. You know, dark vision's pretty good. Shadow walk. Domino. Ooh, you can make them all fall unconscious together at the same time. That's good. Mesmerize. Strength, vitality, reflexes. Oh, you can deflect projectiles? That's crazy. Agility. Ooh. I kind of want sprint. Like, I want agility skills. Don't care. Bone charm crafting? I don't care. Yeah, I'm definitely not going for the combat ones. I am still going for a low chaos run, so... I'm smelling dark vision plus agility skills. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Dark vision's pretty OP. We know this. Greater dark vision. Ooh. But we'll just go for the tried and true dark vision first. I know, it's a bit of a crutch, but if it's available, I'll use it. In the meantime, let's get the hell out of here. Was I taking damage? Was there a fish eating me? There was probably a fish eating me. Fair enough. Squeeze? No? Alright, Megan, where are ya? Also, how high up can I go? I guess this is the captain's quarters. Ooh, I can inspect the map. That's good. So, Gristol is where we were at Dunwall. We've gone over to Serkonos. But Morley is all the way north from here, and Tivia is far north.
Seems so far away.
It is.
I'll come back soon, Father. I promise.
Oh, wow. Well, there's still whaling boats out here. I can also perch myself on the edge here. Has anyone seen our captain? She's probably over down there somewhere. Captain? Megan? Hello? You're in the main room? That's downstairs, apparently. Okay, fair enough. Target practice. Any loot around here I can pick up? A reflection on my journey on to the Pandician continent 4, chapter 16 by Anton Sokolov. 2 dead on our first day on the continent, but the new world was not sated and would have one more. None other than the captain himself. His group had found a cluster of small rodents, much like rabbits or prairie moles. The lure of fresh meat proved too much a temptation for our good captain, who had dined on scant fish and the same rations as a crew all those dreary months. He was able to grab one of the creatures with his bare hands, but the docile beasts were not so tame after all. Having allowed the captain to pick it up, the creature became enraged and delivered several stings from a gland hidden in its tail. So far, I am learning that the Pandician continent has a lot of stuff that stings you. The first story with the giant ants is making me think very, it's making me think back to the giant ants in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So, yeah. The captain complained of heat and itching where the stings had penetrated, but insisted they pressed on. He died of asphyxiation within a quarter hour. It was suddenly obvious to me that at this rate of attrition that we would not only fail to sufficiently research the continent, but we might soon lack enough crew to make the return voyage. Something had to be done to save the venture, and so I immediately declared myself captain. On my orders, the remaining crew kept to the relative safety of the beach for the duration of the week. Although I sent 2 young academy students armed with nets and cages to fetch a live sample of the prairie mole that had so swiftly killed the captain. As first and foremost, ours was a research expedition. Okay, so while they were camped out, they sent 2 academy students. Fair enough. Let me go back inside then. And try to find Megan. If only we could just open this hatch. If I could open that, I would be able to reach her really easily, so... Alright, just through this door then.
Be cursed. Daft old man. This is some shit. Back to that city. What would we have done in the old days? All sharp metal and shadows, we'd say.
Now where's Anton's room? I'll pass on that. Thank you very much. I know you...
Not back from Dunwall yet. If we're lucky, the Howlers will be distracted by some score they're working.
I also like to talk to myself loudly in an empty room. But yeah, you mentioned that Sokolov's room was trashed, right? Trying to fix the secondary engine. Anton, your idea of improving the head gasket sealing with a guano coating is the worst you've ever had. I'll make you sleep in the engine room if you don't fix your mess by tomorrow. Megan, if all inventors were as delicate and short-tempered as you are, you and I will still be paddling around in carved-out logs. Megan, I made some mulberry cake. It's my own recipe. Improved by Tivian spices. I left it in the galley. Anton, where are you, old fool? I hope nobody hurt you. I'll find you, I swear. I'll miss you. Or I miss you. But yeah, where the heck is... Ooh, thank you. I'm noticing a distinct lack of sleeping darts. Yeah, okay, I have no idea where Anton's room is. I must have run past it or something at one point. Or maybe I'm using it. Maybe I'm temporarily using his room. Who knows? Yeah. This could have been it. Alright, so with that out of the way, then let's just have a chat with her. Yo.
You're up. When you're ready to talk, I'll tell you what I know.
Sure, I'll talk to you later. This is so bright. The Shindari Gift, a study by Imora Clipswitch. On the effect of the winds on the Karnakan landmass and resulting economic positions. Whale oil. Liquid power. How astonishing that within those beasts inside the oil harvested along with their flesh was enough power to see the Isles through those tumultuous years. And it all seemed limitless, but now the lights begin to dim. Our fisher folk say the great beasts are increasingly rare. Not all places will suffer this loss equally, fellow natural philosophers. Karnaka has a unique feature, the cleft in Shindari Peak, through which the winds are channeled and amplified. As whale oil begins to run short, with the cost of finding the remaining leviathans escalating beyond the worth of the oil itself, Karnaka will find itself ascendant among the Isles. Well, you know, if you harness the wind energy, yeah, potentially, you can still power things. Crown Killer strikes again. We have read the story a million times.
For 2 weeks.
Has it been that long?
Sokolov is all right. Wherever he is.
Well, there's Sokolov. Why was Sokolov abducted and not killed? He looks, pretty rough these days.
Karnaca looks pretty from a distance, but it's a city on the way down. And the blood flies are bad this year.
Yeah, I'm very concerned about those blood flies, I will be honest. Is the Crown Killer hiding in Addermire? The Addermire solution. Protect yourself and those entrusted to your care. Created by Dr. Alexandria Hypatia, alchemist of renown at Addermire Institute of Infectious Disease, derived from rare and exotic ingredients, including bloodfly venom itself. Yeah, so bloodflies are going to give me PTSD because I do not enjoy the sound of bugs flying past my ears. And I am, of course, wearing headphones, so this will not be a good time for me. Delilah portrait.
Here? It's Delilah. Anton started it just before he was taken. They've got history, but he wouldn't say more.
True. Wasn't she his student at one point? Didn't he exploit her? Because he was / is a bit of a rambunctious old pervert. Okay, you guys used to play games together. Fair. Blood of the Abel House, Chapter 4, Introduction. This chapter will focus on Edithia Abel, steward of Coloro. With sword in hand, she swept the marshes of raiders, sacrificing her life for Serkonos. We will provide newly uncovered insights into the exploits of Rabinos Abel, who built the ornate wooden bridges of Sagunto. Follow along as we map out the expansions occurring under the Abels, through which trade routes to the other isles were established, bringing riches to the nation-state. Even as waves of settlers continued to join Serkonos from Morley, the Abels balanced growth against Serkonan culture. In later chapters, we will detail the times of Theodanis Abele. I am constantly changing out how I pronounce this. Until I hear it pronounced in-game, I have no idea. True son of Serkonos. Brave and benevolent, he united the East and West as no other before him. Even the rowdy people of Bastilion swore loyalty to him. One isle, one Serkonos, united under House Abil. Lastly, we will settle on Luca Abil, who rules today, partaking in feasts and merriments of all kinds, bringing joy to our fair isle. Sounds like he's just resting on the laurels of his ancestors, huh? Doesn't sound like he did any of that.
It looks like the overland route to the Addermire Institute goes through the carriage station.
The what now? Mortimer Ramsey. What was he doing in Karnaca?
Mortimer Ramsey. The Duke couldn't have pulled off the coup without someone inside the City Watch.
Alright, Duke Luca Abele. Finally, please pronounce his full name.
I don't know Duke Luca Abel.
Abel, got it.
Corvo
Thank
served
you.
under Luca's father, and said Theodanis was a good man.
Yeah, but you know, the son wasn't.
Delilah. My aunt, if that's really true. She has a twisted way of looking at the world.
I don't remember them being sisters in the DLC in the Brigmore Witches. That was never really a plot point in there, so I have to assume that this is either retconned or she's lying through her teeth. I remember her being a maid, or rather the daughter of like a maid, and they grew up together, but I don't remember them supposedly being sisters. So we'll see how that goes. Anything else for me to read before I leave? Is this his room? Oh, this would be his room. Yep, that makes sense. Grindstone. Okay, I guess that's just for atmosphere and immersion. Fair enough.
I'll always miss my lessons with Anton Sokolov.
Oh, I do not like that.
So many clever devices during my mother's time.
Sorry, I killed all your research subjects, but I needed to pick up the dried husks, apparently, which was only worth 5 gold. So not ideal. There's a lot to read in here. Anton Sokolov's investigation notes. Why can't an old man enjoy his last years in a warmer climate with good wines and spicy foods, without stumbling into another nest of aristocratic vipers eager to coil around the heart of this empire? As I've learned more each week for months now, I've found my mind turning over the movements beneath the surface here in Karnaca. Duke Luca Abel and some inner circle that even seems to include Captain Mortimer Ramsey of the Dunwall City Watch. A betrayal that boggles the mind. How many others are involved? They aim their venom at our dear Empress, young Emily. That much is certain, but when will they strike, and how? Do I dare spend another month gathering stray bits of esoteric information, linking it together with what we already know? Can we even afford another week? Or should Megan and I set out for Bristol tonight, taking this leaky tub up through the canal? Corvo will not hesitate. He will act as soon as I hand over what I know, and if I'm too hasty, it might be his undoing, coming home to his native Serkonos without some critical piece of knowledge about this affair. And then there's the Crown Killer to worry about. If that fiend is part of Duke Abel's schemes, as I suspect, how long until the dreadful Wale catches the Duke's eye? Fair enough, so he was investigating into this. He's a smart man.
Dearest Emily, or must I say, your Imperial Majesty, I have something that you and Corvo must hear at the first opportunity. It concerns the murders happening across the Empire, committed by this so-called Crown Killer. When I left Bristol years ago, I swore I'd never again take part in any further political matters. I've done my share of bad things, and some good, before and after the Rat Plague. But here in Karnaca, I've uncovered a terrible conspiracy against you. Here, at the bottom of the Empire, the cobblestones smell of death and corruption. I'm staying with an associate, Megan Foster, aboard her vessel, the dreadful Wale. We'll leave for Dunwall in the morning, as soon as the tides are willing. I keep thinking of the way sweet Jessamine was stolen from you and your father, and I fear it might be your turn to face such turmoil. I know Corvo would protect you with his life, but please do not trust anyone.
There you are, old man. I was asked to pay you a visit.
Wait,
Oh.
what's wrong with you? Megan!
Off we go, Sokolov, to somewhere more private.
Interesting. So he was abducted by a woman, presumably. I assume it was not Megan, but the way he was like, "Oh, what's wrong with you, Megan?" It could have been her, but I don't think so, considering she spent the last few weeks looking for him and has little notes about. But maybe she's insane. Who knows? Split personality disorder, potentially. Sokolov's notes, bloodfly study. I've wondered whether I have another book in me. The bloodfly epidemic, coupled with basic information on life cycle and behavior, might make an excellent project for this old natural philosopher. Bloodflies are exotic insects, unlike anything else found in Serkonos. I suspect that they originated on the Pandician continent. Ah, no wonder. I see. Another stinging animal. In groups of 3 or fewer, they are harmless. Individuals won't attack, leading me to speculate that each emits a scent that has a collective effect on larger numbers of bloodflies. Bloodflies are attracted to rapid movement and sound. Their nests can be broken apart, scattering the swarm, and in particular, the nests are quite susceptible to fire. The insects require fresh corpses to lay their eggs, which hatch in breathtaking fashion after a very short time. More corpses in a Serkonan city, say during a crisis or a plague, mean more bloodflies. So basically this is the new rat plague. Because we're in Serkonos then. Got it. And I assume that means the higher the chaos, the more bloodflies we'd have to deal with. Interestingly, in the last part of a bloodfly's life cycle, they calm a great deal. Leaving the swarm, they molt, causing the wings to drop off. Afterward, each bloodfly lives a solitary existence. Very odd. Bloodflies are largely restricted to the south, preferring warmer climates, like certain aging natural philosophers. Okay, wonderful. I'm not looking forward to dealing with those things. Not at all. When I think back to Dishonored 2, that's what I remember. So yeah, that definitely left an impression on me, the bloodflies. No thank you. A reflection on my journey to the Pandician continent 1. A colleague of mine owns a stunning map of the known world, adorned with curlicues and sea beasts that has a cherished spot over her mantle. She paid handsomely for it and was so bristled when I enumerated the various errors. Chief among them, of course, the size and placement of the Pandician continent. Oh, how cartographers are loath to show how small and distant our empire really is compared to that giant landmass, as if Pandicia were but a few days' journey from the Iron. Every veteran ship captain knows that it takes months to reach those shores. I had no doubt that Pandicia was rich in resources, but a place must be understood if we are ever to hope to exploit its myriad treasures. And these were my thoughts as I agreed to join the ill-fated expedition. And so it was on the third day of the month of Earth, under calm gray skies, the great sea vessel, Antonia Aquilo, set sail with captain, crew, researchers, and myself, 38 of us total, for what would be the most terrifying and spiritually draining experience of my life. How exciting indeed. Alrighty, Megan, I think that's everything. What do you have to tell me?
Alright, you've explained part of it. But what were you and Sokolov doing here?
The old man loved Karnaka, but he'd caught wind of a conspiracy tied to the Crown Killer. He wanted to warn Corvo.
There were reports about tensions rising, corruption, street violence. I didn't give it much mind. Usually the local authorities resolve that sort of thing.
The new Duke has let things slide. But Sokolov concluded he might be the head of the conspiracy. He came in looking shocked, and if you've heard his after-dinner stories, you know that's unusual. We were going to set out for Dunwall, but something happened.
The Crown Killer.
Yes, the hatch ripped open and Sokolov screamed. All I caught was a glimpse of someone carrying him across the deck. I followed as long as I could, toward Addermeyer Institute. It's run by the alchemist Hypatia. Maybe the Duke is using a patient of hers, the Crown Killer.
Okay, that's our first lead. We'll go there.
Alright, I'll get inside. The Crown Killer has to be eliminated, and if the alchemist will cooperate, maybe I can learn something about what happened to Sokolov. Wish me luck.
If you need my luck, Sokolov's as good as dead. When you get done at the Institute, disable the watchtower. Once it's down, I'll bring the boat around.
Alright, sounds like a plan. Thank you.
We'll take the skiff to the shore when you're ready.
I'm pretty much ready. I think I've explored everything to be done here. Can I read this? No. I'm just gonna follow you. I assume the skiff is up top. Do I actually have to follow you, though? Like, are you actually gonna have more incidental dialogue, or is that it? I think that's it. So, oh. Travelogue entry. Oh, there's a lot to read. Okay. Investigating Addermeyer Institute. This boat captain, Megan Foster, she helped me escape the coup, but she's giving me the side-eye when she thinks I'm not looking. She's all I've got for the moment, though soon I hope Anton Sokolov will be joining us. My old teacher. Keenest intellect in the Empire. Filthy mouth. Gone and got himself abducted. Megan says he was last seen being dragged towards Addermeyer Institute by the Crown Killer, which makes no sense to me unless the killer is a patient there. Maybe he needs medicine or something. Well, we know it's a woman, right? We saw a woman with Delilah in the void, so that's probably her. Maybe he needs medicine or something. But how can a deranged patient be working for the Duke and Delilah? Addermeyer's chief alchemist might know. Alexandria Hypatia. She's been running this place for years. She's famous for curing the miners' diseases. If she knows anything, I'll make her talk. Alright, let's go.
Ready for me to drop you at the docks?
Yeah, let's go. I'm ready.
Let's go see the streets where my father grew up.
Off we go then.
It
Indeed.
won't do to be recognized.
Oh, bring up the shawl. Chapter 2, Edge of the World. Find Addermeyer Station and take a carriage to Addermeyer Institute. It is the best lead you have for tracking down the Crown Killer.
I'd take you to Addermeyer by boat, but security's too tight.
I believe you.
Guard have a watchtower there. Go inland and use the carriage station.
Very beautiful place. Is that the carriage then? Presumably, right?
Before his death, the old Duke of Serkono spent decades building up Karnaka. After Duke Luca Abel took over, he started draining the wealth out of the city as fast as he could. Orgies and week-long feasts.
Of course.
Having more fun here than we were in Dunwall, it seems.
Watch yourself on the way to Addermeyer. The Duke's given the Grand Guard run of the city. Strangers get attacked on sight.
Oh, great.
I'll keep my head down.
I see you've already been posting up the propaganda posters.
Reach Addermeyer, take out the Crown Killer, and find out where Sokolov was taken. The alchemist, Hypatia. She'll help if she can. Sokolov likes her.
Okay,
I'll see
I can
you
trust
later,
her then.
Addermeyer. Just wait to bring up the boat until after I've disabled the watchtower.
Sounds like a plan. I don't like that all the water is red like blood. Not enjoying that. Alright, I'm going to call it right here. I hope that you enjoyed what you saw here today and that you're doing well wherever you are. I know it's a bit of a shorter episode, but I had to do quite a bit of reading. So before we actually proceed onwards, I think this is a good place to stop because I know this is supposed to be quite large. So have a great day. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye now.